Welcome to Real Deal. I'm Tara.
And I'm Jazelle.
And it is the 7th day of September, aka Halloween 7th, as far as we're concerned. Today we will be talking about a cult classic sequel and one of our favorite movies ever, Beetlejuice. And the new Beetlejuice by Tim Burton, starring Winona Ryder, Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Jenna Ortega, Justin Theroux, Monica Bellucci, Willem Dafoe, Danny DeVito, to name a few.
And wow, what a star-studded cast. I do have to say, I will take Willem Dafoe in anything.
Yeah, I fear.
Let's start with when we saw this movie.
When did we see this? We saw this on Wednesday, so
Yeah.
only a few days ago. We got the early release, y'all.
Early
We wasn't
release.
playing.
No, we
Not
saw
playing.
it together.
Yep.
Yep.
Real deals think up.
Real Tales Sync Up.
It was
we saw
beautiful.
it with Tara's boyfriend and my mother. So,
In a theater full of Beetlejuice stands, you guys.
y'all, they showed up and showed out.
No, they had the sandworm button-ups and everything.
Yeah.
Giselle and I ride for Halloween. We ride for Beetlejuice and Tim Burton.
You will not be catching me with green hair, though.
No, but I didn't know that
Love
people
you.
were really down
they're
for this
down.
movie like that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not special, is what you're saying. I'm not better than everyone else because of my niche taste in 80s Halloween horror movies. Right.
Right.
My bad.
Moving on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
But it was cool. I got the handbook for the recently deceased popcorn tin.
Yes, this is another AMC Stubbs ad.
This is another AMC Stubbs ad. And you know what? I know I've been saying it for the past year that I love their popcorn tins, but I do love it. And if you know that they did a book style popcorn tin for Mean Girls too. So I have that one. And now I have this one.
Yeah.
And I loved that they are keeping the same style. Because that book thing is so smart.
I really want one. I'm going to go back and get one. Even though I've already seen it.
Definitely.
I think we should start with expectations because obviously the first Beetlejuice came out in 1988 and there has been a will they, won't they about a second movie.
For our entire lives.
Since before we were alive,
Yeah.
obviously. So, I don't know. I think that once they started teasing this movie and we got wind that Jenna Ortega was attached, I was hyped.
I was hyped because, like we said, there have been rumblings about Michael Keaton saying, yeah, I do one. It's up to Tim if Tim wants to do it. And Tim Burton, honestly, been kind of on a decline for me.
Yeah.
Just as far as, directors go, I really was not vibing with what he was doing with all that, CGI, Alice in Wonderland type bit, you know?
I think we should talk about Wednesday. I do think we should talk about Wednesday.
I really didn't want to.
But I think that we should. I think I don't know. I think that
it was a beloved moment by many and by others dearly hated. And I have to say I was part of the dearly hated.
Yeah.
It was not good. I didn't like what they did with Jenna Ortega's character, with Wednesday Addams. It was just flop after flop for me.
Yeah.
I fell off that show real fast. And I'm not a show person, so it does take a lot for me to enjoy it, but it was a particular kind of joy for me since I am such a big Addams Family fan. And that was huge flop.
It's tough. It was tough. It was
Yeah.
all of the TikTok mentions and whatnot I didn't love. And I will say, and I stand by this because I've seen Jenna Ortega get so much heat since that show came out for any fucking thing that she breathes or does or says. I think that she carried the show on her back, even in moments where I was like, I want to turn this off.
Yeah.
Girl, it's on for you. I'm seated for you.
Right, I agree.
So it was tough. But I appreciate...
As a Latina, she's valid.
Please. I appreciate...
It's okay.
the relationship that has come from that with Tim Burton and Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
It's very cool to see his kind of relationship with Winona Ryder, with her as his muse, kind of evolve into this new relationship with Jenna.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty awesome.
I think it's really great, too. And one thing Michael Keaton has touched on a couple times in interviews is that he wanted this movie to be as much made by practical effects as possible.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Do you hear that, Marvel?
Do you hear that, Tim Burton?
Right.
Stick to the fucking script.
Right.
You know what to do. Do the damn thing. Everything was so well done. There were a couple CGI things I was like, you're getting close. You're getting real close. Thin fucking ice. But, you could tell that things are practical effects.
Yeah.
And I loved that. It was so true to the original, and I loved it.
The sandstorm scenes. Jazelle and I know we just set expectations, and I'm already diving in, but I have to talk about the claymation.
Oh my gosh.
There was a moment in the movie where it's spoiler where it's claymation going into why Jeffrey Jones, how he died, so Winona Ryder's father in the movie. Jazelle and I looked at each other and we were like, oh, we're fucking sad. I think it's 10 minutes into the movie. We love claymation. We love that freaky shit. We love beautiful. Claymation. It was wonderful.
We're really into claymation, and also clever way to write him out.
This is a Jeremy Jones hate podcast.
Yeah. Definitely not a fan of his. You can do your own research on that.
Wikipedia's got it for you.
Wikipedia, Google, Bing.com, baby. Look it up. AI will give you the synopsis.
Yeah.
Not a good person.
No.
But well done in this movie.
Yeah.
To write him out of Beetlejuice. And I loved that his character was involved, not him.
And I think to kind of go off of that point, not to sound like I'm in a business meeting, not to make this sound like Salesforce, but to pivot off of that point, I think it's great that they had the full cast back in action.
Yes.
Catherine O'Hara, they could never make me hate you. You're so fucking funny.
She is so good.
So funny.
Every time.
I loved it. A little bit about the synopsis for this film. I don't know if you guys have seen Beetlejuice. If you haven't, I would absolutely recommend checking that out. This sequel follows after a family tragedy, 3 generations of the Dietz family members return home to Winter River. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life is turned upside down when her teenage daughter, Astrid, accidentally opens the portal to the afterlife. The only not returning members of this are Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin, and they said that they didn't think it would make sense because they're ghosts, so they don't age. And in the first movie, you can't make them look like they did in 88. They look good. No, that's no shade.
They do look good.
That's no shade. But there was no way that we would have been able to have them in this movie without the terrible CGI aforementioned.
I agree.
That you saw in Romulus.
Right. And I'm happy that they didn't do that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think the storyline of, they passed on, worked for me.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. There were a host of new characters that kept me entertained throughout this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really had no, the only expectation I had is that it'd be good.
Yes. Yeah.
Because after all these sequels that have been flopping, and then the coming out of Wednesday, I just really was like, all right, Tim, you better get your shit together.
Hop on your Zoom.
Hop on the fucking Zoom.
Hop on your fucking Zoom, babe.
Remember that, what is it, Instagram Live, where it's Nicki Minaj and then that fan, and he's like, I'll be your manager, Nicki. Nicki, get in the studio. Nicki, go record. I'm like, that's how I felt about Tim.
No, yeah. Give us something.
Yeah.
Give us something. I enjoyed this. This movie has an average 3.4 on Letterboxd. We've discussed a lot of things that we liked. Anything that you didn't like about this film?
I don't know. I feel like there is something that feels missing for me. I don't know what it is, though.
I will say that Jazelle and I are incredibly biased. I think I already mentioned how much we love this movie, how much we have a soft place in our heart for Tim Burton films and for Beetlejuice. So I gave this movie 4 stars. Off the bat, I'm going to say that. I know we usually give our ratings at the end, but I do feel like I should say there's not much that could have been done here that would have made me give it a low rating.
Yeah.
It was fun, and that's all that I asked for, is to have fun. Have fun, don't fuck it up, and that's it. So I think part of my rating is nostalgia. I do feel like if we're talking about things that we didn't love, it was a little bloated, maybe in terms of pacing, because there was a lot happening at different times where I was like, oh, we're watching a different fucking movie.
Yeah, I agree.
It was giving romance with Jenna Ortega for 5 minutes, and I was like, hold on.
I liked that.
I liked it, but
Hindsight, I liked it.
the introductory scene of that character.
No, because I
Like,
will say there was right when they introduced this guy as her love interest. Tara and I turned to each other and we said,
what the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Hell no!
It was a complete tonal shift.
Yeah, it was really upsetting.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, like, it's probably because they didn't want to make it too obvious that he is also a ghost.
Yeah,
but it just felt like I was watching Wednesday.
And he ultimately is the bridge for her to go to the afterlife.
Yeah, but that introduction...
It's something that had to happen for her to do that. But yeah, I was like a little like, y'all really gonna do this right now? And then when he turns out to be Ghost, I was like, are you fucking serious? And then I was like, of course. And then when he cons her, then I was like, y'all got me.
Because if he's listening to the Smiths, what are you fucking doing trusting him anyway?
No, he said he dressed as James Dean for Halloween.
We've all seen 500 Days of Summer. If he likes the Smiths that bad, you need to run.
Run away.
There's a problem. Like, you're in danger.
There's a place in hell for that man.
And he did go to hell.
He did go to hell.
He did go to hell. So, point in case. Tim Burton did some research on that shit.
Yeah, for real. He said,
studied it.
Biblically accurate.
I also want to say, Monica Bellucci, love you down, queen.
Oh my gosh.
A little unnecessary, some of that.
I was going to say, I did not feel like they did much with her storyline.
No, she just kind of floated around and served
That's the only thing that, like, I would have added, maybe, is maybe, like, one more scene with her where she does something kind of crazy.
She was dead, like, immediately once she actually found Beetlejuice.
That little worm ate her right up.
Yeah. To be fair, I will say, like, Tim Burton is allegedly dating Monica Bellucci. If I was dating a bitch that bad, I too would have her just serve cunt in my movie and then die. Like, what else is there for you to do?
It's all she has to do.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, hey.
Yeah.
I get it, Timmy.
I get it.
Justifiable.
Fair.
Yeah. I'll forgive it. Like I said, not much that could have happened that really would have made me give this a low rating.
Yeah. I feel like the only thing okay, so I gave this a 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a 4.5 for the sole reason, like, I feel like they didn't really do much with Monica Bellucci's character.
Yeah.
And that's really it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I love how original most of this script is. I love the ideas of it and then the plot turns.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to have Lydia Dietz die, I didn't anticipate that.
Oh, you mean
or not Lydia, what's her name? Fucking Delia.
Yeah, I didn't anticipate that either, but that was a fun turn.
It was a fun turn.
That was a fun moment.
Yeah, I liked that.
I was like, nah, this bitch not gonna die.
I thought that
there
too.
ain't no way she's gonna die.
Yeah, so that was fun. It was fun to have her husband be half eaten by a shark, and I thought that was so creative too, because they didn't want to use him, and they don't want to use his likeness. They did use his likeness in the, like, cemetery scene, but aside from that, not at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that they probably did have to do that just to, like, reference his character better.
Yeah.
Because after all, like, this movie did come out in the 80s, so there are tons of fans that just, like, are new, that don't know.
There's a lot of people going to see this for the first time, which I think is very exciting.
Yeah. So I loved this movie. I really have no bad things to say about it. I thought it was fun. It felt really fast-paced.
I have something that I wanted to point out that I saw critics say that I think is interesting.
Okay.
Again, I love this movie. I thought it was fun, but I did see people talking about Lydia's character and the development of her becoming, like, this talk show host and kind of, like, high anxiety, kind of very submissive. And I did think that was interesting, that people were like, I don't see Lydia ever kind of turning down that path. I did think it was an interesting detour from how she is in the initial film.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't know if Lydia would have turned out to be that submissive. Like, listen, Winona Ryder, I love you and I hope you never hear this. It was giving Joyce from Stranger Things.
Oof! It was a little.
A little bit. It was a little bit of the same performance. But it was still enjoyable. It's just, it was very similar to that.
She has to get her child from the upside down.
Frazzled, anxious, submissive.
Yeah.
You know, panicky, flighty. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to provide for my kid, and I don't really know how to parent. And I get the sense that Lydia would have been a little more headstrong. But they did address this. There is a scene where Delia is like, what happened to that goth kid that tortured me all the time?
Yeah.
You know, low-key, I'm like, yeah, what did happen to her?
Yeah, I do see that.
But
I didn't really think much about it. I think, like, given Lydia as a character, I was just like, I could pin it together and have it make sense.
Like, that's fine with me. It's not like something huge.
It wasn't a huge plot point that I was just like, this doesn't seem like Lydia.
Yeah.
You know?
It was still fine. I just thought that was very interesting. And
if anything, I thought her working on a paranormal TV show was weird.
Yes. I also think that is very strange.
I was like, she never seemed like that type.
I don't think that she would have made it like a career focal point. I thought she would have ended up as a writer.
Yeah.
Because that's what she was doing. Like, it was giving Edgar Allan Poe. Like,
right.
Just things that I thought were interesting.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm sticking to my 4-star rating. Also, this movie had Burn Gorman in it. I just want to mention that I just watched him in The Watcher like a few weeks ago. It creeped the fuck out of me.
I love him.
I love his creepy little face.
He's always in a creepy little movie.
Just a little weird little role. I love it. I eat that shit up.
Slick back hair giving Crispin Glover.
Kind of fine, I fear.
The chiseled jaw.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
I'm turning this off now. Thank you guys for listening. This is just the first in our series of creepy movies. I guess you could count Romulus as the first, but we hated that. So
happy Burr months.
Happy Burr months, you guys. And if you want it to be summer again, shut the fuck up. Thank you.
Bye.